going on, everybody? I hope you're all having a wonderful day today. For those of you that are new to the channel, my name is Ty, and today in this video, I'm going to be talking about Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, whether it's good, whether it's bad, and whether it's a worthy entry into the Ghostbusters franchise. Now listen, just to give you guys some background before I really dive into things here, some perspective of mine, I am not really a Ghostbusters fan. I don't mean that I hate the franchise or anything, but obviously there's just so many franchises in the world, you can't love them all. The Ghostbusters has never really been on my radar. I've watched bits and pieces when I was a kid of the originals, but realistically, I've never been a fan. I just watched Ghostbusters Afterlife the other day in preparation for this movie, and I had a good time with it. I thought it wasn't anything spectacular. I thought it was a solid watch. Going into Frozen Empire, I was like, okay, let's see what we do here. So let's dive right into this review. I feel like the most important point that I need to make before I actually talk about this movie is that me and Dan Aykroyd shared the same birthday. Shout out to my birthday twin. If you guys want to know the date, I guess you'll have to just look it up. But shout out to him. He's like the only notable actor that has the same birthday as me, so I love him so much for that reason, my blues brother. But listen, let's talk about this movie. Ghostbusters Afterlife, is it good? Is it bad? Just to give it to you straight, I think that it's enjoyable enough, but is very, very flawed. It's messy, if you want to say that. Fun, but messy. Yeah, let's just get into things here, because honestly, I could go on and on. The good things, okay? Let's just start with the pros. We'll start positive, because I have less to say in the positive category, quite honestly. First of all, we're back in New York City, baby. As someone that's grown up near New York City, man, this hit hard. I love that we got to kind of explore the city, see the different buildings. We're back in the original Ghostbusters firehouse. We're kind of bouncing around at different locations, iconic locations in the city, whether it's like the library, this or that. I enjoyed that. A new setting. Also, speaking of the setting, how we're kind of switching from the small town vibe of Afterlife to the New York City. That was a bar. I also like how sort of the premise is switching up here. We're going from sort of a stereotypical Ghostbusters story in a way in Afterlife to like this Frozen theme and, not let it go, let it go. I'm talking about more just like, the fact that we have all this ice and there's like this mystery of who's this person that's going to freeze over New York. I like that it went for sort of that winter vibe, that theme. And yeah, that intrigued me, especially from the trailer. From there, our original 4 Ghostbusters, and I'm talking, actually I said original, but I mean our new 4 Ghostbusters. I like their family dynamic. I think they're pretty good overall. Paul Rudd is so great in here, and listen, this is the next, pro that I have here. This is a pro that I hate to say about movies, but it's only one that I pull out when one is very messy like this one. It's fun. I'm going to be honest with you. It's just fun. It has a funny moment here or there, but yeah, it's a fun movie. And again, I hate saying that because it's so lazy. It makes it so obvious that there are flaws in a movie when someone just says, oh, that's a fun movie. But the reality is, it's just fun. I had a good time with it. I wasn't bored. It's very watchable, and it's charming. It has some charm to it. But let's dive into the cons here. Maybe I'll list off some pros as I'm going if I'm reminded, but I feel like I really need to get into the cons here. The number one con with this movie that stuck out to me like a sore thumb is that there is literally an Avengers Endgame level of characters in this film. Therefore, not everyone's able to get the proper screen time they deserve. We have our main girl, Phoebe, right? She's actually a main pro of this movie that I didn't bring up, because she's kind of like our main character. Love her. I think she was great in this. We expand on her. But by spending so much time with her, it takes away time from Paul Rudd, the mom, the original 4 Ghostbusters, her brother, Kumail Nanjiani, right? Is that his name? I'm sorry. Kingo from the Eternals, that actor. There's like this engineer. We have Finn Wolfhard's girlfriend. All these characters are getting time taken away from them because we're focusing on Phoebe, which is okay. It's okay to have a main character. But there are so many characters in this film. I'm not joking. Probably like 12 to 14 main characters. And, that just includes people that are either the main characters, even side characters that do have a relevant amount of time. From there, because we have so many characters, there are so many subplots going on in here. We have like 3 characters over here doing their own subplot. 3 characters over here doing their own subplot. One project that I feel does that very well is Stranger Things. They break up their characters into separate areas, then they all kind of come together like in season 4. The only difference is Stranger Things has like 8 or 9 or 10 hours to do it, where this movie had an hour and 45 minutes to do it. So, that's not the same like time span that we're looking at here to, go over all these characters, have them all fleshed out, whatever. Quite honestly, I don't know if our villain was really the best that he could have been. I'm just gonna be real. His design is cool. You see him in the trailer, he has these horns, whatever. But it feels like for 80% of the movie, we're talking about how dangerous he is, but nothing's really going on with the plot. And I know that I just said, oh, there's all these side plots. It feels like none of them are really progressing. It kind of just feels like again, for the first 80% of this movie, literally, it's just people kind of like going places and talking to each other. And that sounds like, Oppenheimer or something, but I'm not joking when I say there isn't really that much ghost busting. There isn't really that much action. It's kind of like just people walking around. We're learning about the lore of the world, which I will say, that's another positive. Yeah, the lore, I like that we're expanding this world a little bit here with this new villain. But again, man, it almost feels like there's so much going on and nothing at the same time. Like nothing's really progressing until that final 20%. And even in that final 20%, now listen, I'm not really getting into spoilers here. I don't think you're really going to care if I spoil this movie, but I'm not gonna, realistically. In the final battle, we start, I can't even make this up. It becomes one of these things where the villain is just standing there in front of our main characters, and they're like making jokes and talking to each other for probably 2 or 3 minutes with him just standing there, not like killing them. And I'm just like, bro, annihilate them. What are you doing? He's just standing there, or he's like slowly walking up to them from like 20 meters away. And I'm like, bro, kill them. They're just talking, they're joking, they're quipping with each other for like 2 minutes. That's frustrating. Also, I mean, this is sort of outside of the realm of the actual movie, but quite honestly, the trailer shows the entire third act of this movie. The whole thing. I rewatched the trailer after watching the movie. It literally shows the whole third act. It's kind of stupid, honestly. And again, getting into just the whole premise of this movie, I don't really know if I really loved the plot of this. And again, it's almost hard to sort of determine what the plot is because there's so many small plots going on that it doesn't feel like there's just one main central plot. Yeah, sure, the main villain sort of coming to life, but it doesn't feel more important than the other ones. The other ones feel important as well. I mean, we got a lot of plot points in here. That's definitely my main, critique here. It's pretty crazy, man. I did like some of the other plot points, though, like Paul Rudd's character sort of trying to find his role as the dad in this family, and also our main character, Phoebe, kind of finding, like, this girlfriend, but also, that's just another character you're adding to the movie, making it more convoluted. But yeah, guys, I don't know. It's fun. Again, I know that sounds like such a lazy, positive criticism, and again, even though I did say a lot of negatives about this film, I do still technically feel net positive about this movie, and trust me, I have no problem dunking on a movie if I think it's bad, but this movie isn't really like offensive, right? We got the old Ghostbusters coming in here, they're fun, they're quipping with each other. The new people, I feel like there's like this chemistry, even though they don't get that much time together, and even though in the third act, not to spoil again, this kind of turns into like Avatar: The Last Airbender, it gets weird, but I feel like that's what Ghostbusters is supposed to be. It's supposed to be weird. It's supposed to be out of this world because we're talking about ghosts and stuff here. And yeah, overall, it's fun, but extremely messy, jam-packed with a ton, and I mean a ton, of just characters and moments and plot points and plot beats, whatever you want to say, story. But at the end of the day, it didn't really move me. It's not like I'm really going to be raving to people about how great this is. I mean, I'm not raving to you guys about how great this movie is. But yeah, I think it's time to just give like my final verdict here. What did I think of this movie? What would I rate it? At the end of the day, I think this film is either a 2.5 or 3 stars. I'm going to put in the editing room what I finally, kind of sat with here. But listen, it's fun. Again, I really do enjoy these characters, but it's just severely flawed. And I think you can kind of look past it. It's not like ruining the movie for you, but it's just things that'll make you think like, I wish they didn't do that. Or, I wish they took 2 of these characters away. Or, I wish that they kind of sidelined the original Ghostbusters and gave the new ones a little bit more light. Regardless, it's a fun time at the movies. I'm not really going to be thinking about this movie that much the rest of the year. I don't think it's going to make my top 10 best. I don't think it's going to make my top 10 worst. It's just going to kind of float in the middle, and maybe I'll revisit it one day. But yeah, guys, that's going to just about do it for this video today. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.